Hey, what's up, players? I had a chance to try out some game demos from the most recent Steam Next Fest, which ran from February 23rd to March 2nd. I didn't get to try out as many games as I would have liked because I was working on another video and had some other things that came up during that time, but I still wanted to put these on your radar. Starting off, I want to talk about Wild Blue Skies. If you're like me and you're tired of waiting for Nintendo to make a new Star Fox game, this game is sure to fill in that niche. Instead of Fox and the Star Fox crew, you play as Bowie Stray and the Blue Bombers. And I'm not kidding, everything that you see here on screen, if you ever play a Star Fox game, you will feel right at home here.
You're going to cut through that storm? Be careful, Bowie.
It'll take more than bad weather to stop us.
You want a piece of me?
The only real difference is that the charge shot in Wild Blue Skies is mapped to a separate button, whereas in Star Fox you do a charge shot by holding your fire button. Otherwise, everything feels exactly the same. This game has a really well made 2D animated style intro, and the voice acting is really spot on. It really feels like a Star Fox game. Campy, but not too campy, if that makes sense.
Don't go jumping the shark, bombers! I'm here to stop you!
The demo is still available, so feel free to check it out yourself. It is extremely short, but it should give you an idea if this would be interesting to you or not. Another game that I played was Bombun. It's a 3D platformer where you play as a bunny that is able to use bombs as a way to attack enemies, or also use them for platforming and puzzle solving. It reminds me a lot of Bomberman. Now, I've only played classic style Bomberman, but I think, and don't hold me to that because I haven't played this game myself, but I think it might take some inspiration from Bomberman Hero. But in any case, it is a really fun game. I really enjoyed my time with it. One of the mechanics I thought was really cool was to perform this game's version of a double jump. You hold the bomb, and then while you're in the air, you bounce off the bomb. So I thought that was really cool. The demo is pretty lengthy, so definitely feel free to check it out. Okay, this is a game that I was really looking forward to when I first saw it, which is Denshattack. The best way I could describe it is that it is like a Dreamcast era game where you play as a train, and this train is able to like grind and do tricks and do all sorts of stuff. It is absolutely wild. I thought Crazy Taxi was crazy, but how about Crazy Train? The fact that this train can grind and do a whole bunch of tricks in the air means that you can rack up a ton of points. I don't know if I'm going to be that competent in this game, but man, being able to see people master this game is going to be crazy to see. I was already looking forward to this game when I first saw the trailer, but after playing the demo, man, it is insane and I love it. If you're looking for that early 2000s fun, wacky type of game, this will definitely be it. This one was a really random one that I came across called CICADAMATA. It is, how do I even describe it? It is like Jumping Flash and Neon White and I guess a boomer shooter. The art style is very simple, but man, this game is sensory overload, but in a good way. The movement feels very nice and the music is so good, and it definitely makes you feel like you have to keep moving at all times. Your goal, at least from the demo that I played, was to destroy all these yellow cores that you can find throughout the stage and then make it to the exit. There's probably some story stuff for what everything means, but a lot of it just kind of went over my head. I just thought the gameplay was really fun. I cannot stress this enough, this is very overly stimulating, so be aware if you suffer from like epilepsy or seizures or anything like that, this may not be the game for you. But for everyone else, unfortunately the demo was a limited time, so it has ended after the Steam Next Fest, but if there is another demo out there, definitely feel free to check it out.
Leave area immediately.
Another game that I played was MIGHTREYA. You play as high school girl Rhea, who also happens to be a superhero, and she goes around fighting kaiju and different enemies. It's an interesting game that kind of reminds me of like Wonderful 101 or something that Platinum Games would have made. Something that I thought was really cool is that as you're fighting, her manager Neo is actually streaming her fights and stuff like that, and you have like a fake Twitch chat that chimes in on everything. It's a pretty cool mechanic, and normally in hack and slashers or character action games, in order to get a high score, you're incentivized to try out different moves and not use the same thing over and over and over again. Well, in MIGHTREYA, it's contextualized as, well, you want to keep the chat entertained, so you want to try out different moves. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. The combat system is very interesting. There's definitely a lot more emphasis on verticality and staying in the air rather than fighting on the ground. Performance-wise, it's pretty rough. Granted, this is a demo, so there's a good chance that things could change down the line, or maybe this is indicative of how the final game will be like. We don't know. And the combat is pretty janky. There's probably a lot more depth than what I was able to find in the amount of time that I was streaming the game, but I definitely see a lot of potential with this. And honestly, the concept is so fun and it's really cool that honestly, even if this game isn't perfect, the fact that it's trying something new and different, I can at least appreciate for that. I'm not gonna ignore the fact that the game is pretty jank and the performance is a little wonky, but everything else just seems so cool and interesting that I'm gonna keep a close eye on this. And the last demo that I want to talk about from Steam Next Fest was Boost Vector EX. It's like a parkour racing game with the Sonic Boost mechanic. Maybe I'm too Sonic brained, but even the way that the laps start kind of reminds me of Sonic Riders. How you can freely move while the countdown is happening, but if you manage to get yourself a running start right as the thing hits 0, then you can get yourself a running boost. There is a brief story mode in this demo, and there are a few races that you can try out. There's 2 characters available at the moment, and there is online. I haven't had a chance to try out the online component, but I'd imagine that online goes crazy, especially when you can get a handle on the movement. It can definitely take you a while to get used to, but when you do, man, does it feel good. You can definitely get a good flow state going with this game. If you're feeling the need for speed, you should check out this demo. And with that, those are the game demos that I tried out from Steam Next Fest. Let me know down below if there are any demos that you tried out during Steam Next Fest, as well as if any of these games look interesting to you. If you're looking for a non-dominational church, down in the description below will be a link to a church locator. Also down there you'll find a link to 2 Discords, my Discord, and a link to the Christian Fighting Game Community Discord. Feel free to check those out if you'd like. And as always, if you'd like to support, feel free to subscribe to the channel so you'd like to see more. That's gonna be it for me, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, peace.